All right, so the San Francisco 49ers have signed two more players in NFL free agency, and it's day two of this free agency period. Our coverage does not stop. You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr. As always, thanks for hopping on board, joining the show, hanging out, supporting the channel, and this is why you subscribe, because whenever there's breaking news, no matter where I am, I'm going to talk about it right here on the channel. Just got down a run, had some free time to get my run in, and the Niners staying busy in free agency. They've let go of a lot of players, but they've also made a couple of additions. And these two acquisitions for the Niners and these two signings, I think, are sneaky good pickups for San Francisco. The first one, they have signed defensive back Jason Pinnock, formerly of the New York Jets and the New York Giants, to a one-year, fully guaranteed contract, according to multiple reports. Pinnock went to Pitt. That's where he played his college ball. He was a 2021 fifth-round pick by the New York Jets. That's when Robert Saleh was there. And Robert Saleh talked publicly when the Jets moved off of Pinnock about how he wanted to keep him on the roster, but it was a roster cut down and a roster squeeze, so the Jets weren't able to make that happen following his rookie year. And so year two, he signs on with the New York Giants. Didn't have to travel far, and he was with the Giants from 2022 through 2024. And I'm intrigued by the player because he is best suited to be a backup and a depth piece. But if you need him to start, he can certainly do that. He's played safety and corner in the NFL. I think he's best as a downhill player, and that's evidenced by him having 6.5 sacks. So that positional versatility is something that I really like. And for a corner and a safety to have 6.5 sacks since entering the league in 2021, I saw that number and I've seen him play in that role, and he's best playing around the line of scrimmage when he can get downhill, kind of that versatile safety chess piece that obviously the Niners are going to be missing with Talanoa Hufanga signing that 3-year, $45 million contract with the Denver Broncos, and Pinnock can help you in that type of role. And so he has a lot of experience, 58 games, 39 starts. He started 16 games in each of the last 2 years. So he has been a primary starter for the New York Giants in 2023 and 2024. I don't think he's going to be a starter with San Francisco, nor should he be a starter for San Francisco. I think he has to prove a little bit more. But if you do need him to start, he can certainly do that. And when he came into the league out of Pitt, he was a little bit of a tweener when he was drafted by the New York Jets. And people weren't sure. Is he a corner? Is he a safety? He came into the league as a corner, and with the Jets, played 12 games, started 2, had 1 pass breakup, 2 forced fumbles. And so he's always kind of been an active player, a ball hawk, an ability to make plays on the football. He makes the switch to corner after that year with the Jets, and with the Giants, they primarily played him at safety. A lot of free safety, too. And in year 2, he plays 14 games. He started 5, 3 pass breakups, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery. He had 1.5 sacks, 41 combined tackles, 34 solo, 2 TFLs, 4 quarterback hits. And that's the theme with Pinnock that you'll notice here. The following year, he starts 16 games, played 16 games, had 2 interceptions, one of which came back for a 102-yard pick six. He had 6 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles, 2 sacks, 85 combined tackles, 6 TFLs, and 4 quarterback hits. So there's that theme of him playing downhill, being able to make plays in the backfield, get hits on the quarterback, and be utilized as a blitzer. And then this past year with the Giants, 16 starts, 1 pass breakup, 3 sacks, 85 combined tackles, 4 TFLs, 3 quarterback hits. And so I'm excited to see how Robert Saleh can use a player who he has familiarity with. It didn't work out with the Jets as a former 5th-round pick, but you certainly saw some flashes, and he's a good athlete. He's very long. And in the pre-draft process, let's see what he did in the pre-draft process with the relative athletic score grade. He had a 9.78 relative athletic score grade on a scale of 0 to 10. And he measured in at a good size, north of 200 pounds, ran a 4.49 40-yard dash, which isn't bad. So 6'4", 204 pounds, long arms. Because of the long arms, 15 reps on the bench. Don't care about that as a DB. 39.5 vertical leap. A broad jump of more than 10 feet. Really good shuttle. And so for him to be that size and to run sub 4.5, it's pretty good. And so I like the athleticism that he's going to be able to bring to the table for this Niners defense. And it's a 1-year contract fully guaranteed. The other move that the Niners are making, they're signing a player who a lot of you are very familiar with. They have signed wide receiver Demarcus Robinson to a 2-year, $9.5 million contract. That includes $6 million guaranteed. So 1 year for 6, 2 years for 3 each is pretty much the breakdown there. And Demarcus Robinson has been in the league for a very long time. 2016 4th-round pick out of Florida. Played for the Chiefs team back in 2019 that beat the Niners in the Super Bowl. He was with the Chiefs for a long while under Andy Reid. 2016 through 2021, with the Baltimore Ravens in 2022, and the Los Angeles Rams the last 2 years, 2023, 2024. And last year, he had a good year for the Rams. 31 catches, 505 yards. What stands out to me is the yards per catch at 16.3. Keep in mind that Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp were both around 100-plus targets each, yet Robinson still had 31 catches for 505 yards, 16.3 yards per catch, and he had 7 touchdowns. So this is a player with good size who can get vertical, who's been a touchdown-scoring player at moments throughout his career. 7 touchdowns were a career high in his age 30 season, and he's pretty tall and lanky, 6'1", 202 pounds. And he's coming off a year where he had a career high, 505 receiving yards. He's also been extremely durable throughout his career. 147 games played in 9 years, 68 games started, and he has never played less than 16 games in a season. 16, 16, 16, 16, 16, 17, 17, 16, 17. And so there's some really good durability to his game and what he brings. And his yards per catch numbers for his career at 12.1. So in a lot of ways, his 2024 season was the best year of his career. He had 31 catches. That certainly ranked top 5 in his career. But his 505 yards were a career best. 16.3 yards per catch, a career best. 7 touchdowns, also a career best. And so you think about this Niners receiver room, right? Brandon Ayuk right now, if he doesn't get traded. Ricky Pearsall, Jawan Jennings, Jacob Cowing, and Demarcus Robinson. That is not a bad top 5 wide receiver group. That could obviously change and shuffle up if Brandon Ayuk were to get traded, and we're going to continue to keep tabs on that. But Robinson is a player who's played for winning teams, Kansas City, Baltimore, and the Rams. He's playoff tested. He's played in 17 playoff games, and he started 10 of them. He has 23 catches, 410 yards, and 2 touchdowns in his playoff career. And he's going to be able to give the Niners a vertical threat, a guy who can be utilized inside the red zone, take the top off of the defense. He can go up and get it a little bit. He can come down with some contested catches. And so you think about these 2 signings for the Niners, right? Jason Pinnock, positional versatility, cheap. You can use him as a corner, safety, blitzer, hybrid player, long, lean athlete who has been around the ball. Robert Saleh, I think, can bring the best out of him. And then you're hoping that Kyle Shanahan can bring the best out of a player like Demarcus Robinson, who's vastly experienced. He's played with Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford. Now he gets to team up with Brock Purdy. And these are 2 players who I think can have pretty big impacts for San Francisco here in 2025. Again, keep mentioning it during all of these free agency signing videos, what has John Lynch mentioned? Wanting to cut costs. And the Niners have brought in a lot of players who are very affordable and cost-controlled players. So today, the Niners making a few moves as part of their free agency tracker. It started off pretty early in the morning for those of you on the West Coast, with San Francisco signing Richie Grant. Then the Niners released Leonard Floyd. They signed special team ace Luke Gifford, who's been one of the top special teams linebackers in the NFL. And now they add Jason Pinnock and Demarcus Robinson. Don't forget to hit that sub button. This is the 49ers Report. Thanks to everybody who tuned into our live show earlier. It popped off. Crazy numbers and super chats. And we'll be back live tomorrow. And if the Niners make more moves tonight, you know where I'll be. Right here on the show.